Hello and welcome back to Curiosity Mine. It's been a little over 6 months since we last checked in with the Australian Opal Centre's building project, and there's been some significant progress since then. This is the building site in November of 2023. Check out this video for that stage of the construction. And here it is in March of 2024 with significant earthworks and the foundations laid. But this is where we are now. I spoke to Jenni at the Australian Opal Centre about what might be the most significant week of construction on the new building, as we saw the walls go up and a building appear in the space of just 8 days.
We're looking at the site for the new Australian Opal Centre on the 3 Mile Opal Field at Lightning Ridge, and what I'm very excited to share with you is what I think is some pretty incredible progress in the course of a week. So what we're looking at is an image taken at midday on the 12th of June, and we can see that just 8 days later we had some really significant progress on site. So this is at midday on the 21st of June. So what we're looking at there is, firstly, in the middle of the site, a 250-tonne crane, which is being used to crane the precast wall slabs into place, the wall panels. Each of these wall panels is 12 metres high, which is quite extraordinary. They're currently propped in place, and over the next few weeks there'll be columns poured on site that stitch those panels together and hold them in place. This is the northern wall of the building coming together. This is the southern wall. At this end, the western end, we have the western wall coming into shape. So the northern and southern walls have a corrugated shape which is very strong, and the ground will be filled back right up to the edge of the wall so that the walls are connected with the ground, earth to the ground, and that'll help keep the building cool inside. On the western end, the wall doesn't have that zigzag structure, so we need to put in a strong retaining wall. The little entryway we can see here is actually the entry into the building. When the building's finished, the car park for the building will be over around about where the cursor is now, west of what is our Black Opal Heritage Shed, where we run our fossil dig and Spark Cinema Under the Stars and many other programs. The car park will be in behind here, and guests and visitors and people who work at the centre will walk to the centre down a descending rampway that cuts through the landscape and ends up around about here in a sunken courtyard. It's about 10 metres across, and you'll walk in from this direction from the south, and then you'll turn and discover a little tunnel, and that tunnel will take you through into the building, and you'll pop out into the building here. So it'll be quite extraordinary, because once the building's finished, it will be half buried, and from the outside it'll look one size, and when you walk in you'll discover that there's twice as much volume in there as you can see from the outside. There is, of course, a lot of construction that's happened even in this view. It's a little hard to see, but right along the northern wall and the southern wall and at various other points under here, there are 108 massive concrete piers going down into the ground, over 1,000 cubic metres of concrete and about 75 tonnes of reinforcing steel. So those piers are essential. They're what support the walls of the building. On the right, we've got the public viewing platform, and that is a magnificent spot. If you're in Lightning Ridge to pop out, you can drive up and park just off screen, and you can walk up to the top and you'll get a fantastic view of what's happening on site.
Curiosity Mine is on Patreon. Patreon is a service which allows you to directly support your favourite creators so they can continue making the content that you enjoy. If you liked this video and you think Curiosity Mine deserves it, head on over to patreon.com/curiositymine or curiositymine.com/Patreon to offer your support. If you do, you'll get your name on this list of awesome people who are already supporting the channel. Thank you so much, and welcome to Terry, our latest patron. And just like Terry, you'll be helping Curiosity Mine to continue making videos into the future. This image is from the 7th of July, and it shows the north, south and western walls in place. I spoke with Jenni about the next steps from here.
What I'm also excited to see happen moving forward is the roof going on this incredible structure. The roof will comprise incredible steel trusses that span this whole distance from one side to the other. And they're magnificent steel trusses that are being fabricated in Young in central western New South Wales. And in between the trusses will be skylights that let filtered daylight into the building. So even though the building will be partly buried, it'll be filled with beautiful, soft, natural light. So that will be an extraordinary thing to see those trusses being lifted up and spanning that space. The roof is a rainwater collection surface. All of the rain that falls on that roof will be collected and stored in water tanks, and they form the water supply for the building.
So the building's looking amazing. It's progressing so quickly right now, and it's just so impressive to see the building growing from a hole to a foundation to walls and soon a roof, all in a matter of days. It's just so exciting. And of course, things are happening in the background for the Australian Opal Centre as well. While it feels like building this complex on the 3 Mile Field is a huge achievement, which it is, it's only one of many huge projects and undertakings by the organisation. I asked Jenni about some of the other activities happening at the centre as the building takes shape.
We've got our annual fossil dig coming up in August. So as usual, we have 2 weeks. The first week is for people who haven't done the dig before. The second week is for people who are coming back and want to build on the skills and knowledge that they've acquired with us before. This year's pretty special because we're going to take people on a tour of the building site. For years at the fossil dig, at the end of the dig, we've taken them for a walk down into the hole, the Great Hole, the construction site. They've donned hard hats and high-vis vests, and we've taken them in to think about the building that's going to be erected around them. This year, they'll be able to go for a walk and actually see a very substantial building that will be there by then. A new thing for us this year is we're running an Australian Opal tour. We're going to take people on a charter flight from Sydney to Lightning Ridge to Winton to Coober Pedy to White Cliffs and back to Sydney. This is from the 25th of September to the 3rd of October. It's not an inexpensive trip because we're chartering planes so that we can cover those massive distances. So there'll be the chance to see mines in each of the major opal producing states, to meet miners, to meet people with fossils, to meet opal experts. We've got 2 planes booked. The first plane is full. There are still places on the second plane, so highly recommended. Spark is running beautifully as always. That's our Cinema Under the Stars nighttime experience that runs for the more pleasant half of the year in terms of daytime temperatures. So Spark's having an absolute blitz of a season, thanks to our wonderful volunteers. It's a great year to visit our showroom with its display of opalised fossils and opal clay pottery and all sorts of interesting things. Is probably in its last year because when this new building opens, we won't need that tiny showroom anymore. So there are a lot of people who've been visiting it over the years who are very fond of it. We'll be sad to see it go too, but it'll be replaced by something quite extraordinary.
And normally this is the part where I'd try to sneak in a suggestion that maybe you should support the Australian Opal Centre if you have capacity to do so. And what the heck, maybe you should support the Australian Opal Centre if you have capacity to do so. But in fundraising news, Jenni has quite an amazing announcement that I did not see coming.
We can't thank our founders enough, and everybody who's even put a 5-cent piece into the mouth of one of our dinosaur money boxes over the last few years. We have raised more than $1 million in contributions in cash from this little community and the people around the world who've supported us. At the moment, we have an additional further $2 million target, and what's just absolutely incredible is that we've been able to kickstart that with a $500,000 donation from an anonymous benefactor who has come forward and said, I want to make sure that when those doors open, it is absolutely magnificent and beautiful inside, and it's what we've all been working towards. So we are fundraising. There's still spaces for Australian Opal Centre founders to join us and contribute. There's still spaces for people to join our 1,000 by 1,000 campaign, which offers people who can't afford to be founders the chance to be a really significant contributor through contributing $1,000 either upfront or over 12 months. And anyone who wants to give anything, we will make your money work. And we will put that straight into fantastic exhibitions and experiences at the new AOC.
$500,000 to help with the fit out of the new museum building. That is amazing. Thank you so much to the anonymous benefactor for such a massive contribution to help make the Australian Opal Centre as incredible as it can possibly be, which, needless to say, is going to be pretty incredible. So thank you so much to Jenni for your time chatting about the new centre and providing webcam footage and resources to help put this video together. And thank you so much to everyone who has supported the Australian Opal Centre up to this point, and thank you to everyone who's considering supporting in the future. This video was made with the help of Jenni Brammall at the Australian Opal Centre in Lightning Ridge. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to Curiosity Mine on YouTube and maybe even supporting the channel directly via Patreon. The link is in the description. And thank you for watching.